I'm going to say right away that what I am unfolding here is sheer speculation. It's not based on anything concrete whatsoever. It's not based on anything evidential. It's just me speaking from the gut, um, uh, on a hunch that feel free to dismiss it if it doesn't accord with your take on things. Um, I guess you could say that about anything I say here, but sometimes I'm talking about things that are more, based on evidential stuff, like Kanye West revealing what he revealed about his so-called personal trainer, uh, Harley Pasternak. I mean, that's real. That's out there. He's got receipts. All right, but what I want to talk about now, interestingly, is also related to the music industry. It's about Taylor Swift's new song "Anti-Hero." I don't know if you've heard it yet or not, um, but I will. And I know that at least one of my viewers, one of my faithful fans, is a Swiftie. so, so you've probably heard it. You know who you are. But the rest of you may or may not have heard this song. It's a amazing song. It's an incredible song. The lyrics are just transporting. Uh, it's there's real profundity to this song, and on the one hand, it's like it's a very self-effacing, self-denigrating, self-loathing. An expression of self-loathing that is very profoundly stated. Um, but it's also it's got lines like during the chorus. There's a line that continues or that repeats, which is I'll look directly to the I'll look directly into the sun, but never in the mirror. And that's such a great line because it metaphorically describes someone, the state of mind that someone has who who is self-loathing and also self-destructive, who would rather do engage in an act that is dangerous, that might be blind, that might blind you. You'd rather be blind than look directly into your own eyeballs and see yourself for who you really are. I mean, it's just profound. It's a great, great line. It's a great song. To me, it sounds like nothing that Taylor Swift has ever done before. And now I don't know her whole catalog. And I'm not speaking as someone who feels strongly about her one way or the other as an artist, as a singer, or whatever. I think it was annoying a few years ago when she came out as this shit lib, like in 2018, when she'd been apolitical for so long, and people were saying, "You've got to speak out, Taylor Swift. You've got to use your platform to promote, the right things." And then she eventually succumbed to the pressure, uh, and became this massive shit lib. Uh, I remember that she was endorsing the Democratic candidate uh, in Tennessee, and some reporter asked the Republican guy, I don't know names, sorry, somebody asked him, if he thinks that her endorsement of his opponent is going to hurt him, if he's worried about that, and he said no, because 13-year-olds don't vote, which I thought was a great burn. So anyway, there was that brief period where she was talking about, I'm such a feminist, I'm such a leftist, I hate Trump, blah 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 blah. But most of her career, but she seems to have calmed down since then. I haven't heard this kind of talk from her since then. Again, not that I'm monitoring things, not that I'm paying attention, but usually if something happens that moves the needle, it I do end up noticing it. So anyway, I'm not speaking as someone who thinks that she's just a hack or completely talentless or anything like that. but I don't think anything that she's written that I know of compares to this new song, Antihero. And in fact, it's so different from anything that she's recorded or composed before, that I wonder if this song isn't ghost written. It just so happens that last night I saw a movie called Under the Silver Lake, which I'm still wondering how I feel about this movie. It was certainly intriguing, and it seemed gratuitous in some ways, and it definitely was annoyingly cryptic in some ways, but it was also definitely an interesting movie. I would recommend it, with some reservations. But there's a scene in this movie where the main character, who's sort of this dopey layabout millennial guy, who thinks he's uncovered some big conspiracy, and it seems like he has, like, some conspiracy in Hollywood. It seems that he both has and hasn't. Like, there's like he's on the right track, and then he sort of misses the mark, or it goes off in a different direction. But there is one scene where he meets up with a character called the Songwriter, and it's this old guy sitting behind a piano who it's revealed that everything in pop culture that's ever affected anybody, he's the one who wrote it. And that he wrote these songs, and people listened to them and internalized them and made it part of their lives. But really, these songs weren't. It was just hackery on the one hand, and on the other hand, it seems like what the songwriter was saying was the songwriter character. He was only known as the songwriter. But what he was saying was that people, the common people who walk the earth aren't really important, and that these songs were really made for the elites, and the common people heard it and latched onto it and made it their own. And he starts playing "Smells Like Teen Spirit," which is a huge blow to the main character, played by Andrew Garfield, because he's a big Nirvana fan, and he thought that Cobain and Nirvana was like a really authentic expression of artistic rebellion and angst and so forth. And this guy's telling him, no, it's all just contrived stuff. We write the songs, we send them over to the people we choose to be our mouthpieces, but that's it. There's nothing more to it than that. For the peons that you are. Now, for the elites, it's different. This is what this guy, the songwriter, was claiming in this scene. So it's one of those very synchronistic things. Just as I was wondering, I'd listened to Antihero by Taylor Swift for the first time, and it was just kind of like swirling through my head, and I was thinking to myself, this is so different than anything I've ever heard her sing prior to this. Just so much more profound, so much more substantial. Again, not to put her down, not to say that none of the songs that she wrote before, were good. But this song is like in its own league. So I wondered, like, again, this is all speculation, and this is getting it's going to get a little woo-woo in a second, just to as a warning. But I beg for your latitude, and I will take it whether you grant it or not, because this is my channel, damn it, and I will say what I want to say. But with the caveat again that I'm just sort of speaking off the cuff here. So on the one hand, I wondered if she might have a secret songwriter. Like she wants to be more of an artist, wants to be seen as more of an artist now. So maybe she hired somebody secretly to write her songs, in a way that will bring her to this new level of artistry. But then I also thought to myself, well, there's lots of stories about if you're tuned into the whole entertainment world, there are numerous accounts of sacrifices. Like the Whitney Houston dying in the tub, and then her daughter dying in the exact same pose also in a bathtub. I mean, that's one example. But lots of tragedy, lots of stories where people who are stars suffer these tragedies. Somebody close to them dies, and it's been speculated many places that these were sacrifices. These were things that these aspiring stars gave up. They said, okay, take my mother, take my sister, and we'll sacrifice her, and with this sort of demonic blood sacrifice, my career will be blessed, or I will be enabled to achieve greater heights of stardom. Basically sort of deal with the devil in one way or another, requiring some kind of sacrifice, sacrificing something that you love. So I wondered, like, somebody like Taylor Swift, could she be? And I don't know of anybody close to her or anybody in her family who died mysteriously or anything like that. But like, could she have? I think that a lot of, to be clear, I think a lot of musicians, maybe most who become famous, there's got to be a selling of the soul somewhere along the way in some form or fashion. Just because the industry is so obviously sleazy and evil, if you pay attention to what's going on at all. That's what ensnared Kanye so much, right? And that's what he's maybe now, God willing, breaking free from. He's becoming Kanye Unchained, as I called him before. But what if Taylor Swift decided, I want to have a great song. I want to be able to write a great song, and I want to be somebody who isn't just a girl next door piece of ass, basic piece of ass girl, which is her whole persona. I want to be something different from that. I want to ascend to a new level, and and be an artist. Well, what if she decided to make some kind of sacrifice, and this was granted to her, and maybe she's ascended to this new height of skill, artistry, because again, this is such a departure. This is so different from anything I've heard from her before. Now maybe the Swiftian out there or somebody else will tell me that I'm wrong, that it's not, that she's been developing, and this is like, this, you can chart her progress as a songwriter or as an artist, as a lyricist, and this is a new height, but it's she's been along this trajectory for a long time. Maybe so. I mean, if so, please do let me know, and I'm interested in being corrected, but these are just thoughts that went through my head. So anybody out there have any ideas about this? Thanks for watching. Talk to y'all soon.